Bum, bum, bum,
Drama.
bum.
Action. Comedy. Palace intrigue. Story Squad presents Clash of the Pencils. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at that, folks. Exciting night here in Milford, Delaware. So much so, forgot to put my microphone down. I don't know. I don't know what to say, folks. It's been a long week. All I'm saying is slice and rack and tooth, neck at neck. No one knows what's going on. Who's going to win the week? Who's going to win the day? The answers to that and more can only be found here on Clash of the Pencils, the nightly live stream. It is the most watched creative writing esport league live stream in the history of the internet. I'm your host, Tom Sherman. We're here as we are every weeknight to review the top 3 short stories submitted from around the net, get the latest scores, see who's atop the leaderboard, and of course, read through the top 5 sentences of the night. A quick reminder for all the folks out there how to play Clash of the Pencils. Each night at the end of the stream, we'll reveal a prompt. And then all you have to do is grab a pencil, grab a notebook, write a short story in response to that, 1 page, quick, no mess, no muss, no fuss, and then snap a pic, upload it, and then boom, you're in the game. It's just that easy. So every day we field anywhere between 0s and 10s of submissions, which then get run through a high-tech data science algorithm known as Storybot 3000, who uses, among other things, 10 free hours of AOL Internet CDs to analyze every story for character, plot, and setting. We then take Storybot's top 3 picks and let you, the public, determine tonight's winner. And then they win, besides, of course, fame and glory, one of these, an IOU NFT. And this unique 1 out of 10,000 NFT is actually an IOU for a future NFT from an upcoming drop from Story Squad. And what exactly does that mean? Well, the current estimated cash value of the IOU NFT is $100 US, but that's not really the full values you can get from an NFT. Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one-directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby. So, I mean, I know I'm talking crazy, haven't been making a lot of sense so far this live stream, and that's because this week we've been going crazy on these NFTs. What we thought they were capable of just even 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, that's not, it's well beyond that. Like, it's insane. And you're going to want one of these NFTs. You're going to want to see what they're capable of. And I will keep you posted as much as I can. But until then, write some stories, submit, and get these submissions in so you can win. And so let's just get to it. Alongside me tonight to help us break down Storybot 3000's top 3 picks, we have a certified master by the Breadloaf School of English, which sounds delicious, by the way. But also, legend has it, he only stops reading for 30 minutes a day. And that is Greg, the Reader Peterson. Thanks for taking a break away from that book there.
Gradually, I acquired what I may call a conception of art. I met with all the artists, all the geniuses, as well as all those who were set upon becoming artisan geniuses. Observing Joanna in the Sebastian Platz, I was able to see how such a society comports itself. Hey, Tom.
I see why you're reading that, because the words that the authors need to use in today's prompt: scheme, houseplant, and ballet. Which, if that passage wasn't about some sort of scheme in a ballet, I don't know what it was about.
It was not about houseplants yet.
It was not. Oh, well, maybe we'll discuss that later. I'm not sure. So yeah, where would you go? So here's today's prompt for the authors: scheme, houseplant, ballet. We've seen this before. The reverse Mad Libs is what we unofficially call it here. What would you do here?
I
with these
want
words?
to say that I think the degree of difficulty on the reverse Mad Libs is an incredible way to punctuate the week. We have all these champions coming in, and because it's so difficult, this is kind of like our gauntlet that you have to run through in order to get that final. This is the two NFTs are at stake: the winner
That's
of today, the winner of the week. And I like that something so difficult is used to parse the wheat from the chaff. Scheme, that seems plot. That screams to me plot. Houseplant, that's setting. A lot of setting. Ballet, different setting. Different setting.
Mhm.
Interesting how we're going to see these are worlds being straddled: the domestic and the performative.
And ballet is also, that opens up some character too, as far as ballerinas have certain qualities, at least being able to stand on their tiptoes.
Yes. Extreme flexibility, extreme dedication to the craft. Ballet is, there's no half ballerinas. It's a full measure kind of occupation. It's a totalizing way of structuring your life.
Yeah. So talking about structuring their life, let's look at the leaderboard. And these three authors have structured their life around Clash of the Pencils this week. And yeah, you gotta love it. Slice, Racontus, and Ehud all in the top three, all neck and neck. Unfortunately for Ehud, not making it into tonight's top three. So knocked out of contention for the week. Racontus, 35 points behind Slice. That means Racontus needs to get first place, and they will be able to win the week. Otherwise, I did the math. The numbers just aren't there. If they get second place and Slice gets third place, that's only a difference of, I didn't actually do the math, 25. And so that is not enough. So
They get 15 points for voting too. So what if just I put on my little scenario hat. What if Slice submits, gets second, Racontus submits, gets first, but then Racontus also gets the 15-point bonus, and Slice, maybe Slice was preoccupied and didn't vote.
Interesting.
That is a 45-point.
I had not calculated. Well, and that would be same for the second to third. Racontus could get second, and Slice, if they do not vote, would only get 100 points. That's a 40-point difference. That'd be a 5-point margin difference. I had not calculated Slice not voting in, but I should have. That's, and wow. And that's why
Slice
we have
also has had one delinquent vote. That last column there, the friendly dragon, that's how many times Slice has voted this week. So it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. And yep, Racontus, like clockwork, it would be a shock to see them not submit and not vote. And we know they submitted, so got to assume they can vote. Anyways, that's all very interesting. All this gameplay is very interesting. And yet that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is to take a look at these top three picks from Storybot 3000 for tonight. And we're going to start with the newcomer to the Champions Guild, I guess is the word. Sliver. This comes from Sliver. The only requirement was silence. The overnight system outage would give a 4-hour window that bookended the usual 3:15 dinner break for the guard. As long as he stayed in the break room, scrolling on his phone, everything would go smoothly. The two men knew that at 4:15 they would be miles away, celebrating the end of their perfect scheme. At 3:17 a.m., like clockwork, the first man crossed the threshold from the disabled emergency exit into the manager's office. The keys to the display cases were in the top right drawer of the desk as planned, a benefit of paying off the cleaning crew. The second man stood outside of the manager's office door. There was no reason to risk opening the door to alert the guard, mindlessly thumbing through sports highlights. The key slid under the door atop a small swatch of fabric. The second man picked it up and readied his bag. He stepped towards the center display case where the limited light danced through the diamonds. Increasingly distracted by the eerie, beautiful ballet, all he could think of was the slow, deliberate insertion of the key. He tiptoed silently with the key drawn like a gun. He slid the key into the locker. The guard, 35 feet away, heard nothing. The key turned, and the man, staring as if possessed, lifted the glass top. His tunnel vision ended, finally seeing the gift left by a customer which was forgotten at the far end of the case. The potted houseplant tumbled, crashing onto the tile floor. The empty room echoed like a chorus that sang of his mistake. The hardwired alarm started blaring as the door to the break room flung open. The first man, already outside in the car, sped off, seeing the flashing lights that punctuated the famine. All right, jewelry heist off to a great start. The keys in the desk left by a paid-off cleaning crew. However, the perfect plan spoiled not by the pressure of silently opening the case feet away from mesmerizing diamond, or feet away from the guard of those mesmerizing diamonds, but a forgotten houseplant apparently is the best alarm for stopping heists.
I thought this was incredibly intense. The tension that was built on the precision of the scheme was very, very well executed for a one-page story. Instantly, we were drawn into this world with the opening line. The only requirement was silence, which it sets up the house plants falling and shattering. I thought that was very skillful bookending. It even mentioned bookending at one time. I was a little disoriented in terms of where we were in the world, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And then you get clues and you kind of draw inferences to reverse engineer where we are. And so we got guard, we got break room, and we got this kind of bumbling guard, not unlike Raconteus's bumbling henchman unloading this crate, mindlessly scrolling sports highlights. And then we get the plan. We then fast forward in time, like a good heist movie. 4:15, we'll be out of here. 3:7, I think it was 3:17, like clockwork. The plan is then, and then we have the two men. The image of the eerie, beautiful ballet and silently holding the key like a gun. I thought those just, it was so great. I was picturing kind of a Mission Impossible, it didn't have rappelling, but this felt like a heist. This felt like all the tension of a heist. And then when the caper is broken by the crashing houseplant, it kind of shatters their ability. So I love plot setting. I still don't exactly have I'm not grounded in a lot of concrete details to imagine the jewelry, the store. And really, we get some good descriptions of the silhouettes of the characters. And we get the fact that they're very precise and careful, but I don't know what they want. I don't know what they're after. We got almost no dialogue. So I would say character is the outlier for me. Plot is the inlier.
Right. That's a word.
Mint it.
Yeah, I believe it. Put it in the dictionary. All right.
And setting was kind of in the middle. What about for you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was great. I thought the setting was strong for a couple reasons. One was like kind of how you were saying, like this, like I was able to see it, but I saw it almost more of as a cartoon of like the cat burglar with like the little bandit on, because he's tiptoeing around, he's got the key out. So like I was able to see all of that. And then as far as the displays of the rest of the store and stuff, it says at one point that he had tunnel vision all the way until it's too late, and he snaps out and sees the plant falling. So, you know, that whole like that kind of rang true to me for the setting. So that's why I would kind of put it a little closer, but I do see your point there. The characters definitely just person one, person two, basically. But the plot, I mean, that plot you know, you can't really beat a good heist like that. I love the way that they used scheme. They used everything right up front, right? There was no metaphors of what the scheme was, what the ballet was. Well, a bit of the ballet, but the in the Houseplant. But I loved how they used them all, made it flow.
Yeah. I agree with that. I like how they kind of peppered them throughout the beginning,
Mhm.
middle, and end. They didn't go wham bam, I'm getting these out of the way.
Right.
They
Right.
built a story around it.
Very strong start here. And then the end word, it said something about punctuated the famine. I can't. This Storybot was unable to read this one.
I was wondering about the famine in the world.
Punctuated
The failure.
failure. Oh, that looks like that. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to hard code that into Storybot for next time. That was a so yeah, the famine. The famine is the failure in some degrees. I thought it was a metaphorical famine, if nothing else.
We'll get our data science team to have the box editing tesseract model. I have no idea what those words mean. But
Those are
the
all
right
good
words.
words.
Those
Yeah.
are all the right words.
They definitely sound like things that you could say at a family dinner and make people stop asking you what your job is. That was like my whole Thanksgiving. It was kind of great because I would have had to be like, yeah, I do this live stream, right? And no one watches.
NFTs.
Do these live stream. No one watches for this NFTs.
Potatoes.
Yeah, but no, I get to say things like Tesseract data science model. And they're like, wow, Tom's really put himself together. All right, here's the next one. We got to keep this moving. Marjorie lived a contented life. She was lithe and moved gracefully from the reception desk to the subway to her small apartment, sometimes stopping on the way for groceries. Her ballet background apparent in every movement. The Christmas cactus, her favorite houseplant, bloomed in the corner. On TV, the Nutcracker, her favorite ballet. On the couch, Marjorie seethed, her hand clutching the silver envelope. How dare she? Margie said, louder than she meant to, startling her cat. Who does she think she is? Marjorie took a deep breath and closed her eyes. She was hurt. Was this invitation a continuation of that long-ago scheme? That one that ruined her dancing career? Why was Suzanne determined to interfere in her life? She sighed. Of course, she would respond no to the finely lettered RSVP, as she had the others. It was undignified for a dancer of her unique ability, one who had been so crushed in her prime by her rival ballerinas, to attend such an event. She glanced at the TV. She should have been the Sugar Plum Fairy. She should always have been the Sugar Plum Fairy. On the other side of town, Patsy sat in Suzanne's kitchen, looking at the Christmas party list. Suze, why do you keep inviting Margie? You know she'll never come. I know, Suzanne replied, but everyone in the class is invited, and it would be rude to exclude her. Well, you're a saint, Patsy went on. Do you know I ran into her on 10th Street the other day, and she just breezed past me? She still walks around with her hair in a ballet bun and leg warmers. It's been 35 years, Suze. Suzanne replied, frowning. I know, but ballet was her thing, and she just never moved past not getting chosen for the Sugar Plum Fairy in 12th grade. Did I ever tell you she blamed me? Her mom told my mom that she should have been chosen and everyone was working against them. Wow, Patsy replied. All I remember is she quit the production when she didn't get her way. Suzanne said, I've always felt bad for her. Maybe one of these invites will get through. Patsy shrugged. What was there to say? High school drama club drama. The friends turned back to planning, quietly hoping their old friend Margie would come. Maybe this would be the year. All right, this was from Raconteuse, A Tale of Two Cities, one containing a scorned ballerina, object of a nefarious psychological schemes. She stews on her past wrongings, angry over an annual slight. Meanwhile, not too far away, two chums gossip about what a sad scene the ballerina has and does live, trapped in the memory of 35 years ago. High school drama club drama.
I got a question. Do you think Patsy and Susie were really just mean girls and still know what they're doing? Was there malice behind this?
That is, I definitely picked that up.
I mean, that's what Marjorie was thinking. But it sounded in the depictions like they were like everyone in the class is invited. By the way, what class gives 35 years? What activity group gets 35? Maybe it's the whole class for the high school. It's a small town. But it seems I was wondering about the story and how if it's such a small town and there's this level of interaction where like the RSVP leads to this raid, this like how dare she, who does she think she is, right? This like strong emotional trigger that still to this day is stuck 35 years later. And if it's a small enough town to invite the whole class, how on earth are they not seeing each other and interacting more frequently? How is this the only exchange? So I have a little question on
one
the
of
world.
them. One of them did say they ran into her at the grocery store.
That's true. That's true.
And then she said, you know, she's still wearing the ballet bun and the leg warmers. See, that's what I thought I enjoyed from this story a lot was actually that. So it's two stories, right? The first one is this ballerina, and she's just like she's watching her favorite, you know, nutcracker with her favorite house plant, but just stewing, just angry over this like her career being ruined all these years ago. So you think it's like this super nefarious thing. And then the second story is these two people talking about high school. And so it lessens, you know, it kind of makes the first ballerina look a little more like, wait, what's going on here that she's so angry about this high school spurning. But these other two people, they just talk about how it's so sad that this lady is trapped in high school while still talking, you know, they're just as trapped in high school as she is, you know what I mean? Because they're still talking about what she's wearing, what she's doing, you know, it's so sad, you know. So whether or not the invite was nefarious in and of itself, I don't know if that's a good question, and that can be debated by the literary greats for the ages, right? That's what makes a good novel is, was it the Lady or the Tiger? Or you know, Lady or the Tiger? No, great short story. You'll have to read it. But but like that, you know, I don't know. I choose to think that maybe the lady wasn't being nefarious in sending out the invite, but still taking the point that these two people are judging this first lady for being trapped in high school while they are just as trapped. You know what I mean? Like they're just as ensnared in the 35 years ago memories as this other lady.
What I love about Raconteuse is the ability to build pretty complex psychological thing through just dialogue. I mean, that's a screenwriter's trick, right? Like strong screenwriting in that you show character through just the spoken word. And Raconteuse did that yesterday in a totally different way. But like character development through dialogue, to also show like dialogue is the weapon of choice, and then we get some plot.
Right. The plot and the setting were definitely lacking. But like I think that's something I wrote here in the notes with the characters is like that the first one is very that it's a lonely lady, right? She's all uptight and she's like muttering to herself louder than usual, so her cat gets disturbed. And then the way she's able to, so there's no conversation driving that dialogue, and then she uses the conversation in the last two women talking, and so that's I don't know, and that adds to the characters, right? Where like these two ladies are just gossiping. I don't know. It's
can I ask a somewhat snarky but somewhat curious question?
Yeah.
Where was the rocking? Was there a rocking chair that I missed? I wanted a rocking chair the whole time.
Ow! I mean, I feel like those two ladies were sitting in rocking
I
chairs.
felt like they were in rocking chairs, and the
They
motif,
probably could have been.
like it should have been just a rocking chair moment, you know?
That is a big, and that's why this setting is so deep here, and that's not normal for Racontus. It could have just used that one little detail,
Yeah.
really. But look at these two triangles, two interesting
Wow,
triangles to
wow.
start.
This is a reverse Mad Libs because you don't know. Sometimes the prompt really kind of is like, oh, there's a plot heavy prompt. Or,
Right.
oh, this one, anything's possible.
Anything's
This is the
possible.
no Trump. That's
And
a bridge reference. That's a contract bridge reference, not a. Never mind. Just move on.
We're already gonna.
Really
We're already
great.
going
Really
over
great
Tom Graig. Should we?
There's no
Should
one.
we really get in here and
There's
see what's
no
going
one.
on?
No one but my grandma will appreciate that, and I'm sure she is not watching.
Because she plays bridge.
Yes, I
Right.
I was raised on contract.
Right.
bridge, Tom.
Right. All right. Let's just get this.
Imagine you're a snowbank, one of those tall piles of snow lazing in the sun, melting into the asphalt. Omoima, the yogini, said. She sat cross-legged, shoulders back, spine tall, with New Balances on her feet mangled from years of ballet as a younger woman. The students in her class laid in corpse pose, arms at their sides, eyes closed, breath moving slowly as a houseplant toward light. Omoima spoke again, slowly, softly, seductively, siren-like. Thank yourself for the work you've done here today. Exhale those thoughts, breathe in your sacrum and anything else causing your pain. Feel the healing breath as you exhale and shift your eyes, focus to your toes. Omoima deftly hid her horror as she saw a rat walk around the clients, all in shavasana, some cradled in the limbo of awakenedness and nap, others breathing through unappreciative spouses or presentations to the board later. Omoima's studio has suffered from quarantines, lockdowns, antisocial behavior, and germophobia that's dominated the past 2 years. These people needed yoga healing more than ever, but there's nothing relaxing about a rat. Omoima watched the furry guy brush against an arm, tickling a client who just recentered, not reacted, kept her eyes closed and lungs breathing languidly. Omoima snuck a cat-footed over to the stereo, bringing the sounds of nature to a higher volume and hoping to drown rat squeaks and whisker twitches. The rat noticed Omoima watching. It looked at her, tempting a move like a kid on a bike looking at a homeowner on the porch of a house he just egged. Nani nani boo boo. Meditation ran longer than usual as the yogini and rat eyed each other, motionless, serene. Clients started tussling. One rolled over to his side. The rat saw Omoima's eyes getting wet and generously marched through a crack in the corner, its soul bowing to hers as she reciprocating. According to the scheme, class ended with prayer hands and namaste, with a dash of chatter outside.
All right. A woman leading a yoga class has a moment of clarity as a rat nearly disrupts the peace and serenity of her yoga class.
I take notes on all of these, you know, and at some point I was just laughing and smiling too hard, and I just had to like put the pencil down and let the words wash over me. It's kind of like Slice does this about once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
The precision of the setting combined with the precision of the setting led the word choice was just extraordinary. All of the right, all not only were the words, the yoga words, Imoma, the Mogini, mangled from years of ballet, the corpse pose, like a houseplant to light, like all of all of the you wouldn't know the reverse Mad Libs had. You could say what were the words in this, and there would almost they're just so organically embedded here that they don't none of them like triggered as these little. They were just Easter eggs. They weren't really functional like circus pole pence to the whole plot, and yet I was incredibly obsessed about this character. I was really rooting for her struggles and pain, the futility of trying to do yoga. obviously in pain. I think we all want vulnerability in our main character's perspective, and we all want in order to empathize with them. And we got that with the years of ballet, the healing through yoga, the going through referring to them as the clients, and then seeing what they were trying to empty their heads of was such a nice survey. It reminded me of the time in which we're in the newsroom that Slice had.
Mm-hmm.
And we just get the little thing, just the one sentence about each person that gives us the range of characters to build a world really, really quickly, but seem like it's like I got the feeling of they were in a yoga studio, very modern but very light. The antisocial behavior, the hygienic, just the preoccupations with hygiene in a yoga studio, bodies touching, and then having that against a rat, something that's like the host of the plague in this time was so perfect, setting it up with that, and then having the rat come and brush people as they're trying to empty out any of this neurotic sort of hygiene fixation was so great. And then projecting onto the rat this malice, this Bart Simpson like malice and understanding, in order to come to some greater realization. I don't know. I thought it was a significant accomplishment artistically.
No, my notes are raving just as much, but from a little bit different angle. And you were touching on it at the end, but I hadn't even thought of a lot what you were saying there. But the juxtaposition of nature and like the human concept of nature, right? That's what I loved is the snow on the asphalt. But like, if you think about snow melting on an asphalt, like snow's not supposed to be melting on asphalt. Like that's probably very painful to snow. And it's the same sort of stuff where it's like turning up the music of the nature music to drown out.
That was the moment I put the pencil down. I was just dying. I was guffawing, Tom. I was guffawing.
Yeah. No, that was, and then the same sort of thing with like the business, the nature of business versus like the pandemic. And like, it was just this huge struggle between all of the two dichotomies that, yoga is trying to help you, figure out or get that path forward. But at the same time, it's tough to let go of that human conception of a rat crawling on your arm,
Yeah.
It's when
it's just such a visceral fear that we have around rats. There's nothing relaxing about a rat. I think that was
that was a good line. Yeah. So top notch. I mean, one of the tightest triangles of the day for sure. But interesting set of triangles that we got out here. And yeah, so let's just get this going. I mean, we're already over time, and you know what? Like, that's the best part is we went over time talking about nothingness that didn't need to be talked about. This all could have been taken care of in like 5 minutes, if we really wanted to, which I guess we didn't.
We take the scenic route. We're big believers in the scenic route.
Yeah, we sure did. So let's see here. All right. So speaking of scenic route, I got to hit the update leaderboard button, which I just did. I'm getting the approval from Storybot 3000. The votes are tallied, so I'm hitting refresh, and that means Slice and Rack and Tooth. This is what it all comes down to, folks. And then Sliver, a little sliver of greatness as well. I mean, don't count them out for the day. I would
hope to see Sliver next week.
Yeah, that's a fact. There it is, Rack and Tooth. Wow, over 165 over Slice and Sliver. And then, my math was wrong. Wow, that's unfortunate.
Well, no, Slice voted. That's exactly right.
Oh, Slice voted.
If Slice hadn't voted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
So close.
Neck, Slice and Rack and Tooth.
Slice and Rack and Tooth. Epic battle for the ages.
Battle.
Congratulations to both getting
incredible
NFTs.
Week of stories all around. Storybot, it's almost like we're training at too high a speed. These stories are too good.
Amping up. And and I think we'll see that in the top 10 sentences of the week as prepared by Storybot 3000. Number 10 from Slice. A more savvy person than I would have seized this hysteria for a chance to get rich, but as the laughter kept rolling like a downhill snowball, I quickly got scared. From the first entry of the week, also about pandemics and that furry little fuzzy creature, Abbott, later making another pop in.
Shout out
with,
to Slice's simile game. It's top notch.
Oh, that like a downhill snowball.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
today
so
it was
great.
like I noticed it today. It's just it's very well executed. It's embedded very nicely.
That whole second half of the sentence like rolls like a downhill snowball. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
You know, like
Ah.
you like have to say it quick, and then you get scared because I don't know. Yeah. All right, number 9 from Ehud. She would drift across the pasture, stare at the sky, and occasionally let out an unanimated moon. The cow that did not come back from its jump over the moon. Number 8, Raconteuse. As Jeff and Don worked to clear tables full of breakfast platters, Joey imagined them together on the open range, working small groups of cattle. Was that masterful?
Legendary
Yeah,
story.
bus boys
Country club.
and cowboys
Yep.
mashup. Number
The
7 from
AGCC.
yeah, the old
Let's get some
AGCC.
merch. Let's get some merch on that.
Number 7 from Slice. People returned to their desks as the commotions subsided, and Art sent a reminder email to all at 3:45 p.m.
Oh gosh, that was such a devastating experience.
Not gonna let a heart attack
Yeah,
ruin
melancholy, ennui, meaninglessness, all right there.
all in it. Number 6, Raconteuse. No name, just a description. Small mammal, purple with orange spots. Says it's native to Mexico.
Oh, a
Raconteuse
master of diction.
reprising its the Abbott from Slice's earlier submission in the week, and then that was a big plot breaker too. Number 5 from Ehud. Linda Hamilton watched from behind a chain link fence her friend Sarah Connor lift a young child into one of those little plastic creatures on an industrial spring things that makes you wonder if we were raised playing in the wasteland of the Industrial Revolution well before historians declared capitalism a fraud.
I love how this sentence just starts somewhere surreal with these Terminators, and it just goes so far in abstract pontification land.
Just
So
like,
good.
you know, sometimes if you don't know what you're describing, that's just the best way to do it,
Oh,
and just
yeah.
get it out there. Because I
No.
think the sentence after this, if I remember correctly, was you know the thing I'm talking about, and I do. It's that
The
thing.
image of those little plastic creatures on an industrial spring things sets up the rest of it perfectly. Like,
Mhm.
I get it. I'm on the journey. I'm riding this roller coaster. It's just that, like, wow, that was a deep drop.
That came in there. Number 4 from Sliver, where the limited light danced through the diamonds, increasingly distracted by the beautiful ballet. So that's a snippet of 2 half sentences, but I don't know, just the dancing and the diamonds
Yeah,
and
lyrical
the ballet.
alliteration. Mm-hmm.
Some good stuff. Storybot enjoyed that for sure. Number 3 from Ehud. Ernest Mann Incorporated, a 50% shareholder of Hugh Mann LLC, asked his son, after, of course, performing a vote across 10,000 fractionalized portions of his brain backed up on the blockchain.
That sounds like a DAO if I've ever heard of one.
So that story was today. Ehud's didn't make it in today, but so this person, Ernest Mann, incorporated his son. That was his scheme, so that he could write off houseplants and ballet lessons as corporate, line
Honestly,
items.
it's not a bad tax thesis.
Yeah, I do question fractionalizing your brain into 10,000 slices, but
I don't know, man. Neurochemistry, there's 10,000 molecules in there.
as long as you retain 5,001 voting shares, then I
Yeah.
guess you're good.
Yeah, you can fractionalize the rest. You don't need all those neurochemicals. Just a voting majority.
Just a voting
For
majority.
deciding.
Number 2
Not
from
to be
Racket.
crazy.
Yeah, not to be too crazy. 40 minutes deep into this. Number 2 from Racontus. After all, you can't make fish and brewis out of a capelin. Asterisk, footnote, fish and brewis, pronounced brews, is a traditional Newfoundland dish made from salt cod and hard bread. A capelin is a small fish like a smelt.
That was the Melville moment.
Quite the Melville moment. Racontus, knowing then and now that I was going to brutalize the pronunciation and everything, foreseeing the need to put that footnote. Fish and brews. It looks like brewis. I'm just saying.
It's pronounced brews, Tom.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to be in Newfoundland and then be told it's Newfoundland. Come on, guys, get it together on some pronunciation. Number 1 from Slice.
Okay.
What's with this guy? Walken said, winking. How's about we get a steak?
That's an incredible Christopher Walken impression, by the way.
Thank you. That's one of my only. I've been working on that for a long time.
No, you've done the 10,000
Christopher Walken.
It's paying off. It's worth it.
Come on. Yeah. It's got me here. So I don't know why not. But wow. That wraps up another round, another week of the Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream. So yeah. Oh, I guess that's what we have to do, right? Let's check out one more thing. The writing prompt for the weekend. There's a new student in your school who is seated at the desk next to yours, but this isn't an ordinary student. It's a giant boa constrictor. What happens next?
We're really shoehorning the character a little of the plot, but you got to deal with that.
I mean, yeah, there's something's going on there, and
it's like
what
the
is
opposite
happening?
of the reverse Mad Libs. It's like, here's the story you're gonna write. Paint by
this is
numbers.
very specific. This is a story for you. So cool. Very interested to see where everyone goes with that. And until next time, we'll see you out on the paper. And now I just hit this one last button. If you want to play Clash of the Pencils and win some NFTs, don't worry, it's easy. All you got to do, grab a notebook, grab a pen, go to clash.storysquad.app in your internet browser, check out today's writing prompt, and then write a story. All right, once you're done with that, all you got to do, take your phone, snap a picture, and then upload it. It's just that simple to play and win in Clash of the Pencils.